I have a theory about it. Perhaps they just can't afford Hunter Renfrow because Tom Brady is unable to purchase his portion of the Raiders.
Well, it's not quite like that. I think you have the tweet. Let's read it.
Okay. Let me put this up here. You like that transition though, huh?
Not really. No. Listen, I know there have been lots of rumors about Mark Davis not being able to like afford contracts like Khalil Mack, but it's not. I don't think it's like that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways.
All right. Are you able to read it, or you want me to read it?
I am able to read it, and I'll just note also like now that they're in Vegas, it's like a completely different ball game. But anyways, report: Tom Brady acquiring a portion of the Raiders could potentially not happen after all, per Mike Florio. A source tells Florio that a recent no equity rule that the league passed complicates Tom Brady's effort to acquire a portion of the team. In quotes. During last week's special meeting to approve the sale of the Commanders from Daniel Snyder to Josh Harris, Raiders owner Mark Davis spoke passionately against the proposed rule, explaining that he had planned to employ Brady as part of the deal for Brady to buy a piece of the team. The rule passed over Davis's concerns. Now that Davis won't be able to both employ Brady and to sell Brady equity in the team, that could set the transaction back to square one, and it could potentially derail it altogether.
Oof.
So, I mean, the biggest thing that I take out of this, other than obviously, it might not happen now, is Brady was going to have a role. He was going to have a job with the Raiders.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, the legendary bowl cut.
Sorry, I didn't know you could see that.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that was something I was curious about was like, will Brady have a role? Will he just kind of, look at this as a investment, or will he actually do some things for this team? And that's looking like that's what it was supposed to be. So now if this actually does get derailed, I'm going to be a little upset because I want the GOAT to help out,
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
Well, I mean, did he post? Is there a link to? Well, I guess there is a link. I'll read it later. But did they recently pass a rule that you can't be? Well, I guess that's what it says. But why would they pass that rule?
No equity rule. I don't know.
I mean, if it was something that was allowed before, I mean, Tom Brady owning the part of the Raiders is like, it is one of the. Hold on, let me tell this guy, get the fuck out of here.
Oh, wow.
The GOAT Mahomes. No, it's okay. You can be commenting. I don't care. But
thank you for the comment.
Yeah, thank you for the comment, but I don't agree.
Yes.
The Chiefs broke my heart a couple years ago. Going back to the whole
fan,
Brady thing. As a Raider fan, what?
Well, I don't like the Chiefs, and I'm currently very jealous of the Chiefs, so I'll give you that. And
I'm very jealous of the Chiefs. I'm very jealous of the Chiefs too. I got distracted because I saw the comments just like continue to pile up. So we appreciate your comments. We appreciate you checking out the video, but the Chiefs can kick rocks. But Brady buying part of the Raiders is like, I mean, it was like super huge news. You don't hear a lot of like, I guess, minority owners purchasing part of the teams. So if this was allowed before, if you were able to be employed, why would they just create a new rule, right? That would offset Brady being able to own the Raiders, unless the owners don't want Brady to be in,
right?
Which doesn't make sense. I mean, maybe they want him to be like involved in like national, national media, stuff like that, involved in maybe NFL headquarters rather than just with the Raiders, or if this is just another like screw you to the to the Davis family.
You never know. I'm assuming that when the news came out that Brady was going to buy a stake in the Raiders, or however you want to label it, maybe some owners perked their heads and said, "Whoa, wait a second." I don't know. Um, Here's what I have here on. This is apparently from CBS Sports. According to the Sports Business Journal, NFL owners actually voted just last week, and I don't know. This was 13 hours ago. NFL owners actually voted just last week to put a ban on giving ownership equity to players or team employees. So the point of this is that, he was going to be an employee. He was going to work for the Raiders. So now that can't happen.
And
The
they just passed this when? Sorry, I missed that part.
This rule was passed on July 20th, a week ago, the same day that the owners approved the sale of the Commanders to Josh Harris. So, to me, it sounds like this is either in response to Dan Snyder and the Commanders sale, or it's in response to Brady potentially buying the Raiders, which was not going to be voted on yet, or however that process goes out. So maybe this is part of that. I don't know. Or you know what? It says, sorry, just last week to put a ban on giving ownership equity to players or team employees. So I mean, the whole thought process of, oh, could Brady play for the Raiders? Well, now he can't if he owned part of the team, you know. And then I think this is kind of different, but I was thinking the other day, like, how is Brady gonna like own part of a franchise in the NFL and then go over to Fox and commentate and be an announcer for regular season games? Like, don't you think he might
That
say
would be
some
a
nice
conflict.
things?
Yeah, that would be a
Yeah.
conflict of interest.
So I was thinking about that the other day, like, I don't know how that would work, but I mean, I've heard about Peyton Manning saying he doesn't want to commentate. He doesn't want to commentate yet or whatever because he doesn't want to talk negatively about players that he played with because he just wouldn't want to. If he played alongside, let's just say Wes Welker was still playing, like he wouldn't want to say a negative thing about him, you know. So I don't know. It's all interesting. I guess in actuality, this upsets me because yeah, I would have liked to have seen Tom Brady as an employee for the Raiders, but I don't know.
I
I
mean, if
mean,
he's a minority owner, why can't he just like make decisions and whatnot?
well, I
Like, why
think that's
does
the key is that he's the minority owner. So I don't know if when you're a minority owner, all you get is the financial aspect to it, but you can't make decisions. I don't know. Or
Well, what I think maybe it's trying to protect against is people buying a stake in the team and then also getting paid, getting on that payroll for the team. So like Brady would probably be collecting a check aside from the,
true,
the investment.
true. Yeah, that's probably part of it. Yeah,
So like if Brady was a minority owner, like can't you just do, whatever you want? It's like with the Warriors, I think they have multiple owners, and I think Joe Lacob is top dog, but I wouldn't be surprised if the other owner or owners have some sort of say in the team. I mean, or it might just be a situation where they just collect their investment. And like,
yeah. I think if they were to have any say, they would have to go to the majority owner, though. You know, like they could try to have a say, but as long as that majority owner has majority, he can do whatever he wants. You know.
well, I would think that Mark Davis would be under a mutual understanding that like, all right, Tom, you're going to be in here. This is what you're going to be responsible for.
Hmm.
But like I said, I don't know exactly what the rule prohibits or is going to prohibit. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens with Brady. We'll see if maybe they can figure out a new terminology to him purchasing the Raiders, or not purchasing the Raiders, but buying a stake or whatever he does. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see how this unfolds. I still think I mean, if this is the case and it's going to complicate it, I think the deal's dead in the water, and I don't think it's going to happen. I think Brady's just probably going to, set sail onto his Fox contract, and maybe later down the line he'll buy stake in like another team or whatever. But
Possibly. I think it's probably not often that stakes and teams become available, especially stakes that like an ex player can afford. I know he's a little different because he's had so much branding and whatnot, but uh, I don't know. It's tough.
yeah, I mean, this is Tom Brady. Like,
Yeah,
he's one of the. I mean, he's probably one of the most well recognized players of all time. Like anybody,
yeah,
everybody knows Tom Brady. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Even little kids. I mean,
Mhm.
maybe not like super young anymore,
Yeah.
but
I think
I mean,
the other
South
thing,
Park, they even made an episode about how pure Tom Brady's shit is. Okay, everybody knows about Tom Brady.
yeah, I think the other thing about Brady, in relation to Mark Davis, is they both own or part own the Las Vegas Aces, and that's where kind of all this stems from. Is like they wanted to continue to work together in an ownership, sort of way. So I think that's what led him toward the Raiders. So I don't. Hopefully, he wants to do something to work it out, but again, we'll see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll see how that unfolds.